Hello everyone, I'm Davinder Kaur. Welcome to my YouTube channel Study Time with Davinder. The topic of discussion today, the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Norris. Leslie Norris compares the life of a tiger in the zoo with the life of the tiger in its natural habitat. And tiger is the wild animal you know very well. और tiger कहाँ पे रहते हैं? जंगल में, obviously. So what poet is trying to say that कि freedom जो है tiger की उसे हमें bound नहीं करना चाहिए जो zoo में रह रहे हैं, okay? So that are living under the control of human being. So when you click the photos of tiger in the zoo for your fun, but when you go in jungle and suddenly tiger comes in front of you, what will be your condition? Similarly, if someone locks you in your room for 15 days, then what will be your condition? Exactly, poet conveys the message that the wild animals should be left in their natural habitat. कहाँ पे होना चाहिए उनको? अपने जंगल में होना चाहिए. The poet highlights the contrast between freedom and captivity. He very impressively shows us how love for freedom is the natural instinct of every living being. Means जो freedom है वो सबकी necessity है. Even कोई human being हो या फिर animal या फिर birds. Okay? सबके लिए freedom जो है necessity है. So let's begin the first stanza of the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Here he is used for tiger and tiger is personified. Which figure of speech is used? Personification. So he stalks. Stalks means follow or the movement of the tiger. He stalks in his vivid striped. Stripes means marks on the body of the tiger and vivid means bright stripes. So in the first stanza of the poem, poet describes the appearance of the tiger in the zoo. Okay, he says that the stripes on the tiger's body are visible from a far distance. These stripes are darker in color than the rest of his body structure. So the tiger moves in the cage, but due to lack of space in cage, he can walk only few steps because cage is small. He walks quietly due to its smooth velvet pads. Pads means paws of the tiger. And velvet quiet means जब वो walk करता है तो उसमें बिल्कुल आवाज नहीं होती. So he is full of extreme anger, but he is quiet because he is helpless. Now, which literary devices are used here? Rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. Cage is denoting rage. And which figure of speech is used? Personification. He and his is used for the personification. Enjambment is used here. Continuation of the sentences without using any punctuation. Okay. And metaphor in the line velvet quiet. Why metaphor is used here? Because tiger's paws are compared to velvet. And oxymoron is used in the last line of the first stanza in his quiet rage. Quiet rage are two words are opposite with each other. So that's why oxymoron is used here. Let's start the second stanza of the poem. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass near the water pole where plump deer pass. So in the second stanza, poet imagines the life of tiger in the jungle. So in the first stanza, poet is expressing the appearance of the tiger, and in second stanza, poet imagines the life of tiger in jungle. He says that if the tiger was free, he would have hid himself behind the long grass near the water hole so that he could easily catch a deer in order to have it as its food. The poet wants to say that the actual life of tiger is to live in jungle, where he could catch his prey and eat it, but he can't do so because he is in caves. So there are the literary devices are used here. Rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B. Grass is denoting pass, and enjambment is used here in the line sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. And alliteration is used here, use of P, sound of P at the start of two words, plum pass. And imagination is used here, poet tries to create an image of tiger's activities lurking in shadow. Let's begin the third stanza of the poem. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Snarling means roar, growling, okay, and baring means show his white fangs. Fangs means teeth, sharp teeth. So poet says in the third stanza of the poem that tiger would be growling at the edge of the jungle near the village. The tiger would show his white, long, sharp teeth and long carved nails while moving here and there to scare the villagers. The poet wants to convey the message in front of you that if we destroy the forest, then what tiger will do? Tiger will forcefully come out of the jungle to the town and villages for their food. Thus, they will become the cause of terror to human. Now, there are literary devices are used. A, B, C, B. H is denoting village. Enjambment is used here in the line, he should be snarling around the houses at the jungle's edge. Okay, now let's start the fourth stanza of the poem. But he's locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now in fourth stanza, poet stops the imagination and he comes to the reality of tiger that is inside the cage. He says that the tiger is locked in a strong cell which is made up of sturdy material. Sturdy material means made up of cement, rocks and cement. So he uses all strength and power, but he is still behind the bars. The tiger moves slowly and quietly in the cage and pays no attention to the people who are coming to see him. Now literary devices are used here, A, B, C, B, and personification is used, he and his. Alliteration is used here, behind the bars, use of sound B. Okay, now let's begin the last stanza of this poem. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Poet says that in the night, tiger hears the sound of patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicle of police, which are used as guard at night. So, in night, tiger hears the sound of these cars. He then stares at shiny stars with his shiny eyes. Then he wants to say that the tiger is sad, and as he is restricted in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Therefore, he stares at night at the stars and tries to divert his thoughts towards them. Now, there are the rhyming scheme of this stanza. A, B, C, B. Cars are denoting stars, and enjambment is used here, and stars with his brilliant eyes. Okay, and the alliteration is used here, sound of H. Now this is the end of the poem. I hope you have understood. If is there any doubt, comment me in the box. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.